Coming out of this break, go ahead and start it up. What's that? Out of the total break. Yeah. Good evening from the Buck Van Huss Dome. I'm Don Hellman. Tonight, the Dobyns-Bennett Indians play host to the 8th-ranked team in the state in high school boys basketball, the Science Hill Hilltoppers. Dobyns-Bennett comes in with a record of 15 wins, 3 losses. Science Hill 19-2. Both these teams 6-0 in the Big 7 Conference, so it is a hugely important game because the winner of this game has an inside track to first place in the region. Of course, they'll both play again in Johnson City on February 5th. They'll face off for the second and final time during the regular season. And of course, home court advantage extremely important going into the tournaments this year. Dobyns-Bennett was originally slated to host both the district and the region this year, but the TSSAA deemed earlier this season that the higher seed would be at home and the games would be played at individual sites, much like the satellite games in the first round of the region. Well, the entire district and regional tournament will be played like that this year, and there is some possibilities because of that the Dobyns-Bennett girls and Dobyns-Bennett boys may be playing on the same nights as each other at the same times, which would mean at two different locations, which would mean that we would be unable to bring you both of those games. So it is 2020 is just carrying over, folks, and it is continuing to play havoc with the basketball season. Dobyns-Bennett coming off a 68-42 win Saturday against Cherokee. The first game since the Indians had defeated Daniel Boone in early January. They were quarantined due to COVID-19 protocols, and so they were able to come out and defeat Cherokee. Had a 14-12 lead at the end of the first quarter, stretched it to 34-22 behind a 13-0 run, fueled by back-to-back threes by Jack Browder, and led it by 12, 34-22 at the end of the quarter, or at the end of the half. Cherokee cut the lead to 7 twice in the third quarter, but the Indians closed the third quarter with a 6-0 run to lead it by 13, 48-35, and then scored the first 4 of the fourth quarter to make it a 10-0 run overall, and led it by 17, 52-35, and ended up winning going away. In fact, scoring the last 6 points of the game. A 62-42 game ended up a 68-42 game in favor of Dobyns-Bennett. Indians continue to be short-handed tonight. Brady Stump will not dress or play for the Indians. And of course, they continue to miss Zane Whitson, who suffered a broken wrist around the holidays, and it is not known whether he'll even be able to come back before it's all said and done before the end of the season. But Dobyns-Bennett and Science Hill, big matchup in the Big 7 Conference. We'll take a time out. We'll be back with more right after this 2-minute break. Back at the Buck Van Huss Dome, Dobyns-Bennett Science Hill getting ready to face off in Big 7 Conference action. We mentioned Dobyns-Bennett coming off a 68-42 win against Cherokee this past Saturday. Science Hill, perhaps their closest win of the season against Union out of Virginia. It was a 1-point victory, a game that actually saw the Hilltoppers trailing by 10 in the first half. They were able to rally and come back, and that was despite two of their better players, probably their two best players, being in foul trouble, as Keenan Cutlip fouled out with over 5 minutes remaining in the basketball game. Amari Red was in foul trouble throughout much of the basketball game, but was able to play the last 5+ minutes of the game with 4 fouls and played an amazing stretch to lead his team from behind. Lathan Shingeldecker was the leading scorer for the Hilltoppers. They've got a number of different people that can get the job done for them. They are a very athletic team. And Dobyns-Bennett football fans will remember the job that Amari Red did to the Tribe during the football matchup in Johnson City this year, as the Indians did not seem to have anybody that could keep up with him speed-wise on the football field, and was able to burn him time and time again, including picking up a blocked field goal and returning it the distance for a touchdown. But he is a force inside. He is a leaper. He is extremely athletic. Shingeldecker, Cutlip, a couple of really good shooters from the outside. McBride is a good shooter. Simply put, this is a basketball team. Basketball games so much are about matchups. This is a basketball team. Quite honestly, it's a good basketball team, but they are also going to create some matchup problems for the Indians. The Indians, of course, slight of stature when it comes to the guard position. You talk about Jonathan Gillespie at 5'8". You talk about Brady Stump at 5'9", who is not going to play tonight. McKinley Tincher is 5'11". He matches up a little bit better. But you're looking at Cutlip for Science Hill at 6'3" at a guard position, who's going to give them some problems. I am looking at the roster. Delvin Mathis, 5'10" as a guard. But they are much more physical at the guard position than what Science Hill is, or than what Dobyns-Bennett is. And the other situation with Zane Whitson not on the floor, not able to play for Dobyns-Bennett, you run into a situation that, other than Jason Dennis, you don't have a lot of muscle inside. While Jack Browder and Malachi Hale, both very good basketball players for the Indians, both capable of doing great things on both ends of the floor, neither one of them really what you would call particularly physical players, more finesse type players. And of course, Coach Chris Poore has told us time and time again, one of the things he's trying to get out of those two guys is a little bit more physical play, but they are also both rather slight of build. While good size, 6'4", slight of build. And so the Hilltoppers, while they don't have a whole lot of beef, one advantage is 6'1" senior Caleb Mazoff, who is an outstanding rebounder for the Hilltoppers, despite being just 6'1", had a lot of bulk that he was able to throw around, although Colin Beeson, a player that's been brought up off the JV squad, may give the Hilltoppers a little bit of an advantage inside with some beef as well tonight. So it's going to be an interesting matchup to watch these two teams face off, as Science Hill and Dobyns-Bennett. One of the problems that the Indians had last year when they faced off against the Hilltoppers was being able to get scoring out of their guards, because the guards, again, slight of stature. Keenan Cutlip, whoever he is on, is going to have a difficult time getting open looks over Cutlip. They'll play a lot of man-to-man. Hilltoppers also like to pressure you. This is a basketball team that has continued to get better as the season's gone on. The Indians were doing that as well, getting better as the season went on, going into that COVID break. Although while they looked good against Cherokee, they looked sloppy against Cherokee, really pulled away in that fourth quarter. But it's going to be interesting to see how the Indians and the Hilltoppers face off tonight. Mentioned that the Hilltoppers ranked 8th in the state. They're tied for 8th in the state with Brentwood. Bartlett is 10th, Brentwood, Science Hill 8th, Oak Ridge is 7th, East Hamilton 6th, Arlington 5th, Franklin 4th. Siegel and Bearden are tied for 2nd. Bearden, a team that the Hilltoppers lost to by, I believe, 6 earlier this season, and Houston unbeaten, they're 12-3. They are ranked number 1 in the state. Getting ready for, let's see, I think we will have, I'm not sure if we'll have the national anthem.
Ladies and gentlemen, at this time we ask that you please rise.
We will have a national anthem here. And so we'll pause for that. our national
Buck
anthem
Van Huss Dome on the campus
from the
of
Buck Van Huss
Dobyns-Bennett High
Dome.
School for Indians District 1 AAA Varsity Boys basketball as we play host to the Hilltoppers of Science Hill High School. Here's the starting
five for the Science Hill Hilltoppers, a 5'10 junior, Delvin Mathis.
Number 10, Delvin Mathis.
A 6'3 junior, Keenan Cutlip. A 6'3 junior, Caleb McBride. A 6'2 senior, Lathan Shingledecker. And a 6'4 senior, Amari Red. Head coach of the Hilltoppers, Ken Cutlip. They're 19-2 on the season and 6-0 in the Big 7 Conference.
Guard junior, number 3.
For the Dobyns-Bennett Indians, a 5'11 junior, McKinley Tincher.
Number 12, Jonathan Gillespie.
5'8 sophomore, Jonathan Gillespie.
Number 14,
6'4 junior, Jack Browder.
Forward junior, number 30, Malachi.
6'4 junior, Malachi Hale. And a 6'4 senior, Jason Dennis. Head coach of the Indians is Chris Poore, the Tribe, 15-3 overall, 6-0 in the conference. Dobyns-Bennett will be shooting at the basket to our left in the first half, and the Hilltoppers shooting at the basket to our right. So for sole possession of first place in the Big 7 Conference, just about ready to get this thing underway. Indians on the floor, Hilltoppers still over by the bench talking to Coach Cutlip. I'm not sure what the delay is. Well, I guess they did not hit the buzzer to bring them out, and that's what they were waiting for. It'll be Red for the Hilltoppers, Dennis for the Indians. The official steps in, and there's the tap. It's going to be controlled backcourt by the Indians. Gillespie with the ball, brings it front court on the right side to Hale. Hale dribbles across the head of the key, Tincher. Browder left side to Dennis. Browder out to Tincher, 3 from the left wing, off the pick, no good. Rebound pulled down by Red. Red's going to take it all the way to the end of the floor, misses the layup. Gillespie with the rebound, and a foul called against Delvin Mathis.
Foul the Hilltoppers, number 10.
Well, that's what Red can do. He'll get the rebound, and he's quick enough to push it up the floor, but he just flat missed that one. That looked like he was kind of cross halfway between wanting to dunk it and try to lay it in, and just didn't get it in. Full court man-to-man pressure by the Toppers. We expect to see that the better part of the night. Gillespie comes front court for the Tribe. Browder on the left side. Hale between the rings. Puts it on the floor, backs it out. He's guarded by Cutler. Hands it to Gillespie. Gillespie guarded by Mathis. Gillespie in the circle. Left side, Hale. Tough man-to-man played by the Hilltoppers. Browder spins on the baseline, lays it up and in, and it's 2-0 Dobyns-Bennett. Quickly up the floor, Science Hill. Mathis into the front court. Goes left side, Cutlip for 3 from the left wing. Off the back bracket, no good. Browder with the rebound. Browder ahead to Gillespie. Gillespie driving, out stutter steps around Cutlip, lays it up and in. 4-0 Dobyns-Bennett. A little over a minute gone. Mathis front court for the Hilltoppers. Between the rings, left side to McBride. Down in the corner, Cutlip. Goes down to Red, got inside Dennis, laid it up too strong. Gillespie with the rebound. He wants to run. Gillespie front court on the right side. Ball tapped away by Red, goes out of bounds. Dobyns-Bennett will have it front court right side. 6:31 to play first quarter, 4-0 Tribe. Hale to Gillespie out high on the right side, off the inbounds. Goes left side to Tincher. Tincher overlooks the defense, guarded by McBride. Right side, Browder, long 3. That's going to be short off the front of the rim. Rebound, battled for. Red's going to haul it in the corner in the back court. Ahead to Mathis. Kicks it right corner. McBride dribbles out. Red might have got away with a travel, and then Dennis called on the block. Shooting foul or no?
It's 34, Jason Dennis, his first, team's first.
And it is.
Shooting 2.
So Red will go to the line to shoot 2. I thought he dragged his foot out top. The official disagrees, and guess what? They're the ones whose opinion matters. Red hits the first. Hilltoppers are on the board. You do not want to put Science Hill at the free throw line a lot because they will make you pay. Second is up and also good. 4-2, Dobyns-Bennett. They can score in bunches. Gillespie with the basketball. My broadcast partner, Michael Delaney, likes to call it spurtability. Browder right side for the Indians. Left-hand dribble to the head of the key. Backs it out. Hale right wing. Driving. Stops. Shot up. Foul called. That's going to go against Keenan Cutlip, his first.
Foul on the Hilltoppers, number 14, Keenan Cutlip, his first. Team
second.
Shooting 2.
And Malachi Hale goes to the line to shoot 2 for the Indians. 5:49 remaining first quarter. 4-2 try. Hale hits the first. 5-2 Indians. Hale gets a second. Up and good. Got them both. In for the Hilltoppers. Machias Rowe, 6'2 junior. 6'2 is our scorer, Dobyns-Bennett. Also in, Ben Edwards, 6'4 senior. Shingledecker and Mathis out. Cutlip brings it up the floor for the Hilltoppers. Comes front court. Picks up his dribble. Goes to Edwards. Edwards lobs inside to Red. Lays it up good. Can't allow him to get down low like that. Gillespie bringing it up against Cutlip. Now they've switched. Cutlip was on Hale. Tincher, Dennis, dribbles left wing, hands it off Gillespie to the head of the key to Hale. Wanted a three, he's going to drive, lays it up, off the back bracket, no good. Dennis offensive rebound, puts it up and in. 8-4, Dobyns-Bennett. Cutlip into the corner to McBride. McBride right wing. Out between the rings, Cutlip. He's going to back it out and set it up. Working against Hale, crosses over, driving, lays it up, over Browder, no good. Red with the offensive rebound, and then as he falls, wow. Malachi Hale called for a foul, and Cutlip was falling over his own man. Excuse me, Red was falling over his own man. Cutlip was on the floor as Red went up for the shot. Hale didn't look like he made contact with him. It looked like he just tripped over his own man. Hale's first, team second. Red misses the first. Mathis in for Cutlip, who got up limping. 4:51 remaining first quarter, 8-4, Dobyns-Bennett. Ben Phillips getting ready to check in for the Tribe. Second free throw up and good. Red is 3 for 4 from the line and has all 5 of his team's points. Indians need to find an answer for him. Inbounds to Browder. He'll bring it up against Edwards. Trying to take Gillespie away from the Indians, bringing the ball up. Browder tries to drive, and then he is fouled before the shot. Is that going to go against Red or Edwards? Team third for the Hilltoppers. And it is Red.
Number 30, Amari Red.
His first. Tincher baseline left side for the Indians, looking. Lobs it out to Browder, head of the key. Can't get the three off, but will drive. Lays it up with the left hand, misses. Hale offensive rebound in the putback. Indians crashing the offensive boards. Quickly to Red at the other end. Indians need to get back defensively. Hilltoppers just broke out on them. Gillespie will bring it up against Mathis one-on-one with 4:17 left in the first quarter. 10-7 Tribe. Gillespie right side to Browder. Indians have to get back defensively. Hale for 3, left wing, short. Edwards, he just carried it. Got the rebound, and then as Hale was coming up to get in front of him, carried the basketball. And the turnover gives it back to the Tribe. Cutlip will check back in. Shingledecker back in for the Hilltoppers. McBride out and Red out. 4:04 left first quarter, 10-7 Indians. Browder front court left side to trigger it in for the Tribe. Looking, still looking, gets it to Tincher, who comes up out of the corner for it, backs it out high on the left side. Tincher looks for a pick, gets it, dribbles right, Back to Ben Phillips, who drives in, lays it up, and
Ben
good.
Phillips
Nice
from
give and go.
Tipoff.
12-7. Hilltoppers quickly up the floor. Cutlip drives around Hale, lays it up, no good, but a foul against Jack Browder, who left his feet. You leave your feet, you're going to get called for a foul tonight. This crew is very consistent with watching them during the JV game. They are very consistent with that call. You leave your feet on the defensive end of the floor, you're going to get called for the foul. Cutlip, first free throw is up and no good. And I'm not saying that's right or wrong. It's just the way they call, and they're consistent with it. That's what you ask for, is consistency. Cutlip's second is up, and it is no good. Wow, he missed them both. That's not going to happen very often. Hale with the rebound. Tincher brings it front court for the Indians. Working, driving, laying it up left hand. Shot is blocked by Rowe. Rowe's got the rebound, passes right side. Cutlip, pull up for a three from the right wing. No good. Rebound Browder for the Indians. Outlet Gillespie. Gillespie pushing it up the floor. Driving in, and that's going to be a charge. Yep. Cutlip got planted, and Gillespie drifted in when he elevated instead of stopping and pulling up. And Cutlip was waiting for him. Gillespie's first, team fourth. Then they give the ball back to the Hilltoppers. Dobyns-Bennett leading at 12-7. Mathis comes front court for the Toppers. Dribbles between the rings. Left side, Shingledecker driving. Lost the handle. It was partially blocked by Browder, and it'll be Science Hill basketball. Chris Poore shaking his head because the Hilltoppers are taking his guys off the dribble and getting good looks at the basket. Jason Dennis will check in. And who's he going to come in for? He's going to come in for Browder. McBride back in. Cutlip out for the Hilltoppers. And wanted to get Ishawn Graves in, but he's going to have to wait till the next dead ball. Inbounds into the corner to Mathis. Out to Rowe. Rowe guarded by Tincher. Hands it back to Mathis on the left side. He's going to back it out. Red will check in next dead ball for the Toppers as well. Mathis driving. Gillespie did not get his feet planted, and that's going to be number 2 against Gillespie.
Foul the Indians, John Gillespie, his second. Team's fifth.
Well, Indians do not have a deep bench right now anyway. And if they get in foul trouble, it could be a long night. Gillespie goes to the bench after picking up number 2, Graves in. Inbounds pass to Rowe. Rowe drives baseline, stops, kicks it out right wing, get it in the corner to Red. Ball fake, drives past Dennis, reverses it, no good. Gets his own rebound, put his head down, put it up and good. He has all 9 of the Hilltoppers points. Graves with the basketball for the Tribe. 2:39 left first quarter. 12-9, and Red with all 9 for the Hilltoppers. Tincher with the ball for the Indians. Across the head of the key off a pick. Stops inside to Dennis. Dennis puts it on the floor, drives in. Shot blocked by Red, and then Red loses it out of bounds. He is very athletic, as I mentioned. We've seen it on the offensive end. We just saw it on the defensive end there. Rowe out. Cutlip back in for Science Hill. Browder will check back in for the Indians. They're not going to let him in. Tincher, baseline right side to Graves. On the wing, out on top. Hale driving, splitting 2 defenders, and a foul is going to be called against whom? Is it McBride?
Foul on the Hilltoppers.
It is McBride.
21, Caleb McBride.
Team fourth, his first. And Hale will go to the line to shoot 2 again. And Browder will be checking in for Hale. Hale's first is up, and it is good. Hale with 5 points, 13-9 Dobyns-Bennett. Tincher and Cutlip having a nice little chit-chat here in the backcourt to my right. Science Hill's front court. Hale's second, off the back bracket, no good. Red with the rebound. To Mathis, brings it up the floor. 2:10 left first quarter. Science Hill, or Dobyns-Bennett up 13-9. Science Hill with the ball. Shingledecker back to Mathis. To McBride. Mathis inside. Red, shot up. And Red's going to be called for coming over the back. Missed the shot. Dennis was on the inside, and Red came over his back. It'll be number 2 against Red.
Control foul on the Hilltoppers 30, Amari Red.
Hale out. Browder in. second against Red, and that's going to bring Edwards in and put Red on the bench. Tincher will trigger it in for the Tribe. Lobs it out to Browder. Browder in the back court, guarded by Cutlip. To Graves. Graves front court with 1:50 left in the first quarter. Goes left side, Browder. Phillips to Tincher on the right wing. Tincher, Dennis. Graves on the left side. Then Phillips puts it on the floor, driving, kicks it off to Dennis. Dennis leans in, shot up good. Nice dish. Nice dish off by Phillips. There's a three from the left side and a foul. And Jason Dennis with the foul, and Cutlip nailed the three. First three of the game by either team.
Team's sixth. Malachi Hale.
That's the second against Dennis, and that'll put him on the bench and bring Hale in. And a chance at a 4-point play for Cutlip with 1:28 left in the first quarter. Hilltoppers, if you don't get back on defense, the Hilltoppers will burn you, and they've done it a couple times to the Indians tonight. Cutlip makes that one. It thought about spitting out, but it didn't. 4-point play makes it 15-13. Browder bringing the ball up against Cutlip. Comes front court, drives paint all the way in, lays it up. Didn't get the shot, but he got the rebound. What? Oh my goodness, Jack Browder just picked up number 2. He had inside position, but they say he wrapped back. And that's number 2 against him. So Gillespie, Dennis, and Browder all with 2 personals. And the team 7th, and that's going to put the Hilltoppers at the line shooting 1-1. So the Indians with a thin bench already with 3 players with 2 personal fouls. Well, that's going to make it a long night for the Tribe. And Chris Poore is not, he's smiling, but he's having a conversation, and he is not happy about it. And Jack Browder, I don't know, he looked like he just went up for his own offensive rebound. Cutlip's free throw up and good. And he's got a chance to tie the game at 15 here. It would make it a 6-0 run by the Toppers. And he does. 15 all, 6-0 run by the Hilltoppers. Browder with the basketball. Comes up the floor into the front court. Ben Phillips on the left wing. Dribbles head of the key right side, Graves. Graves dribbles left to Phillips. Phillips will drive baseline and stepped on the end line, turns it over. .59 seconds remaining. Hilltoppers looking to continue their run and take their first lead of the basketball game. Mathis comes front court to Shingledecker, back to Mathis. Cutlip off a pick, 3, takes a flop, doesn't get the call this time, and it'll be out of bounds. And Mr. Cutlip needs to quit crying and just go down and play defense. Dakari Dixon into the basketball game for the Indians. Browder gets the pass, pushes it front court, drives, and he travels. Oh my goodness. Browder with what looked to me to be a clear travel, draws a foul going in, gets the basket.
14 Keenan Cutlip, his second.
And Cutlip just picked up his second, team 6, and Browder with a chance at a 3-point play. Browder with a chance at a 3-point play. Red and Cutlip both on the bench for Science Hill with 2 personals. So their best 2 players, each with 2. Now I'm not sure what they're talking about over there.
Warning on the Hilltoppers coach.
A warning against the Hilltoppers coach. I'm not sure. I don't think I've ever heard a warning given except sideline warning in football. Browder's free throw rattles, won't go. Hilltoppers with the rebound. And Mathis with the ball with 32 seconds left in the first quarter. 17-15 Indians. Shingledecker. Possession arrow, Science Hill. Mathis out on top. Edwards goes inside to Shingledecker. Goes out of bounds through his hands, and with 18.8 seconds left in the first quarter, Indians will have the ball. And we're going to see a sub come in for Science Hill. It's going to be Jaden Swift, a 6-foot junior, in for Edwards. So key players on both teams with 2 personals here in the first quarter. 13 fouls called in the first quarter. Ball tapped by Mathis, and out of bounds. Indians will get it side court now. Back court on the side. But Dennis, Gillespie, and Browder all with 2 personals for the Hilltoppers. Cutlip and Red with 2 each for the Hilltoppers. Dixon, front court for the Indians. Picks up his dribble, goes to Phillips on the right side, 7 seconds left. Phillips drives out to Dixon. Dixon to Hale, 3 off, no good. Browder at the buzzer, no good. Went in, but it was late, and that'll be the end of the first quarter. The score after 1, Dobyns-Bennett 17, Science Hill 15. Indian basketball continues right after this timeout. Well, Jusan Dennis was going to check in for the Indians to start the second quarter, but he went up to the scorer's table, but the official would said, nope, you got to go back to the bench. You didn't check in soon enough. Ishan Graves is not going to be allowed to. I don't know when you have to check in, but now Graves is going to be over on the side. Dennis is sitting down. It'll be Hilltopper basketball starting the second quarter with the Indians up 17-15. Mathis to Swift. Swift looking for Shingledecker, goes to Edwards. Left side to Mathis. Mathis is going to back it out. Dribbles right side. Now dribbles between the rings to the left. Comes back, gives it to Shingledecker. To McBride for 3 from the left wing. Good. McBride buries the second 3 of the game for the Hilltoppers. And it's the first lead of the game for the Hilltoppers at 18-17. Indians have yet to knock down a 3, and quite honestly haven't had that many looks at them. Browder driving past Shingledecker, lost the ball off the dribble. Mathis, it's a 2-on-1 to McBride, lays it up good. 20-17. McBride, last 5 points of the game. There's a reach and a foul against Mathis, team 7, and that's going to send Dakota Dixon to the free throw line to shoot 1-and-1. 14th, we have played, we're 4 seconds short of having played 9 minutes, and we already have 14 fouls, team fouls combined, 7 apiece for these 2 teams. Unbelievable. Gillespie will check in for Tincher. And now he's going to have to go back out because he's got to tuck his shirt in. The uniform police. So the Indians continue to have trouble getting players checked in for various reasons. Dixon hits the first. He'll get a second. 20-18 Science Hill. So Gillespie and Tincher out, and if Dixon hits this one, Graves will check in for him. Free throw is up, and it is good. 2019 Toppers. 7:04 left first half. You would like to see a game like this, let the flow go and let them play a little bit, but they have called them, I mean, they've been pretty consistent, which is what you ask for, but you'd like to see it a little bit more fluid and let them play. Rowe with the basket, making it 22-19 Science Hill. Gillespie, right side to Graves. Left-hand dribble between the rings. Right side to Phillips on the wing. Driving against Edwards, stops, and he just traveled. So it'll be Topper basketball, leading by 3 with 6:27 to play in the first half. Shingledecker brings it up. Hilltoppers playing without Keenan Cutlip or Amari Red. And I'll tell you what, if they can expand on this lead with those two on the bench, Dobyns-Bennett will be in trouble when they come back in the second half. Rowe to Swift, McBride, Edwards, Shingledecker on the right wing. Puts it on the floor. Trying to set up Browder to penetrate, hands it off. Shot by Rowe, no good, rebound by Phillips. Graves brings it front court for the Tribe. Left side, Browder. Dribbles to the head of the key, right side, Hale. Hale puts it on the floor, lays it up off the glass, missed it. Laid it short and goes out of bounds off the Toppers. Set up Swift nicely, but then when he laid it up, just laid it up short. Tincher in, Phillips out. So the Indians with the 3-guard offense right now, really. And Browder, technically at 6'4", is listed as a guard as well. He's introduced as a guard anyway. Graves, right wing, dribbles out high. Browder, right of the circle. Tincher launches a 3 from the right wing, burying it. Big 3 by McKinley. Tincher, we're tied at 22. Hilltoppers quickly in the front court. Shingledecker backing out between the rings. Goes to the left side, stolen by Browder. Can he beat the defense down the floor? All the way in, lays it up and good. Browder with the steal in the basket. It's 24-22. Indians with the last 5 to take the lead back by 2. 4:56 to play in the first half. Swift hands it off to Rowe. Right-hand dribble to the elbow to Edwards, driving around Browder, reverses it up with the backside with the left hand, and good. Edwards. We're tied at 24. Gillespie, front court for the Indians. Phillips will check in, next dead ball. Tincher right side, left-hand dribble to the head of the key. Crosses back, passes to Graves on the right wing. He'll dribble out on top. Gillespie right wing. Wanted an open 3, but couldn't get loose of Shingledecker. Tincher on the left side. Gets a pick, stops, launches a 3, and another one. Back-to-back 3s by McKinley Tincher. 27-24, Dobyns-Bennett. 4:05 left first half. Shingledecker for the Toppers in the front court. Behind the back dribble, into the paint, kicks it left. Trying to go to Edwards, but Browder got a hand on it, tipped it out of bounds. Mathis back in for Science Hill. And it'll be Swift out. And Phillips back in, Gillespie out for the Tribe. McBride, baseline left side to trigger it in. To Edwards. Rowe, Mathis. McBride, 3 from the right corner, off, no good. Battle for the rebound. Tincher is knocked to the floor, and no call, but they'll give the ball to Dobyns-Bennett. 3:48 to play in the first half, 27-24 Dobyns-Bennett. Science Hill had briefly taken a 3-point lead at 22-19 and at 20-17. The Indians have come back and taken a 3-point lead of their own. Graves left side to Tincher. 4 was the largest lead at 4-0. Browder driving, dumps it off. Phillips lays it up and good. Nice job by Jack Browder quickly at the other end. Hilltoppers can ease the lay-in.
McBride.
29-26. McBride with the basket. Again, Hilltoppers beating the Dobyns-Bennett defense back down the floor, and there's McBride trying to step in front of a pass intended for Tincher. It goes out of bounds, and it'll be, oh, they're going to give it to the Hilltoppers. Must have gone off Tincher's fingertips. I thought McBride hit it. So that'll give it back to the Toppers with 3:10 to play in the first half. Mathis walks it front court. Dribbles between the rings. Now he'll reverse it back, gives it to Rowe. Rowe behind the back dribble, inside the free throw line to Edwards. Colin Beeson into the game. Rowe in the corner, lobs it inside Edwards. Shot blocked by Browder. My goodness, Jack Browder getting off his feet, blocking it from behind. 2:45 left first half, 29-26. And one of the officials talking to somebody, and I'm not sure who. Malachi Hale, maybe? Edwards, out to Rowe. McBride dribbles out. Mathis out high on the left side. They'll reset the offense with 2:38 to play in the first half. 29-26 Dobyns-Bennett. Hands it to Rowe. Rowe to Beeson. Beeson lost the dribble momentarily, but got it back. Mathis out high on the right side now. To Rowe, trying to work against Tincher, gets him down low, spins, shot up off the glass, good. Actually more off the back bracket, but it fell in. 29-28. Dobyns-Bennett lead back down to a point. 2:06 to play in the first half. Tincher brings it up the floor into the front court. Graves out high left side. Bounce pass to Browder. Browder launches a three off the back bracket, no good. Ball is loose, Mathis gets it. Toppers want to run. Mathis forces the issue. Losses a handle. Graves all the way to the other end, lays it up, good. Ishan Graves with the steal in the basket. 31-28 Dobyns-Bennett. In the corner, McBride all by himself. Again, the Indians did not get back, and he makes them pay. 31 all. McBride with his second three of the game. 31 all with 1:19 left. And I know one of the things Coach Poore is going to talk about at halftime is getting back defensively after makes and misses. Hale between the rings. Dribbles right. Guarded by Beeson. Picks up his dribble. Browder in the corner. Graves. Oh, tries to throw it out on top. Bad angle. Stolen by McBride. Lays it up, and the Hilltoppers have the lead back. 33-31. That was a terrible angle on the pass. And the Indians with the ball down 2 with 40 seconds left in the first half. Browder with it. Inside, Hale. Shot up over Beeson, good. We're tied at 33. Toppers with the ball. Let's see if they hold for one with 23 seconds left. Mathis comes front court. Dobyns-Bennett with the possession arrow. Shingledecker and Red trying to check in if there's a dead ball. Beeson out to Mathis. 10 seconds. 7 seconds. Mathis will drive against Hale. Shot up, no good. Hale with the rebound, and that's going to be the end of the first half of play. Well, 16 minutes in the books. Science Hill 33, Dobyns-Bennett 33. We'll be back, start our first half, or taking a look at the first half right after this 2-minute break. Back at the Buck Van Huss Dome, Dobyns-Bennett trailing, or excuse me, Dobyns-Bennett Science Hill tied up at 33 at the end of the first half. Indians jumped out to an early 4-0 lead and led most of the early portion of the first half. In fact, led the entire first quarter, with the exception of a 6-0 run by Science Hill that saw the game tied at 15. Dobyns-Bennett with a basket before the end of the quarter led at 17-15 at the end of the first quarter. Science Hill, however, would score the next 5 points to take a 20-17 lead. That was their first lead of the game. Dobyns-Bennett trailed 22-19 after a basket by the Hilltoppers, but then the Indians with a 5-0 run would retake the lead at 24-22. They led it by 5 at 29-24. But the Hilltoppers were able to get back-to-back baskets to cut it to 1. Indians with a basket made it a 3-point game at 31-28, but then a 3-pointer by Caleb McBride, his second of the game, would tie it at 31. The Hilltoppers with another basket would retake the lead at 33-31. But the Indians with a putback late before halftime. Dobyns-Bennett, Science Hill tied at 33 at the half. Indians back on the floor. Hilltoppers just now coming out of the locker room. Want to remind you, this Thursday night we'll be talking Dobyns-Bennett boys basketball with Chris Poor, head coach of the Tribe. That'll be from 5:30 to 6:30 at Mama's House, our home for the Dobyns-Bennett Coaches Show on the John B. Dennis bypass in Kingsport. Don't forget they've got plenty of room for social distancing. Everybody that goes through the buffet line wears masks and has to wear plastic gloves. Mama's House will supply those gloves for you. And again, so it's very safe. Nobody's touching the serving utensils barehanded. And again, plenty of room for social distancing. And if you still don't feel comfortable, guess what? For the low price of $5.99 a pound, you can come in, load up your to-go box, and take it with you. It's quick, it's easy, it's safe, and it's good old-fashioned home cooking at Mama's House on the John B. Dennis bypass in Kingsport. Join us Thursday nights from 5:30 to 6:30 for the Coaches Show. Dobyns-Bennett will have the basketball to start the second half. They'll be shooting at the basket to our right, and the Hilltoppers will be shooting at the basket to our left. We've got our usual spot on side court right across from the head of the Dobyns-Bennett bench.
Begin play in the third quarter.
Tincher, Gillespie, Browder, Dennis, and Red, and Hale, the five on the floor for the Indians. Red, Mathis, Cutlip, Shingledecker, and McBride. Both teams starting the second half with the same five that started the ball game. Gillespie backcourt working against Mathis. Browder inside, tried to go inside to Graves, but Shingledecker steps in front and steals it. Mathis, so the Hilltoppers may have a chance at the first shot of the second half. Shingledecker to Mathis, inside to Red. That's a double dribble.
It's 2 Indian dribbles, turnover to the Indians.
So the Tribe gets it back, turnover on each end. Dennis, Browder, and Gillespie, all with 2 fouls for the Indians. Cutlip and Red with 2 fouls for the Toppers. Browder comes front court against Cutlip. Dribbles left, backs it out high. He'll spin ahead of the key, goes to Tincher on the left side. Tincher with the only 2 threes of the game for the Indians. Hale, right wing. And Red making it very difficult for the Indians to get Dennis the basketball. Browder with a little running layup, can't get it. There's a scramble for the basketball. Red's got it for the Hilltoppers. Nice effort by Browder, just couldn't get it far enough up there. And a long pass by Mathis to McBride, who saves it back to Mathis. Cutlip for 3 from the right side. Short, Gillespie with the rebound. Score remains tied at 33. Gillespie wants to push it, backs it out now. Oh, tried to go inside against Mathis at the free throw line, out to Browder. Browder wants a pick, gets it, stops, dumps it off to Dennis. Dennis, shot up over Red, and it's good. 35-33, and Red didn't even sky for that one. At the other end, Cutlip quickly reverses it up and good, and we're tied again at 35. Again, the Hilltoppers pushing the ball up the floor before the defense can get set. Gillespie, front court, Browder left side. Dribbles between the rings. Hale on the right wing. Left-hand dribble. He's between the rings now, goes left side to Tincher, and McBride got a hand on it, knocked it out of bounds. Hilltoppers very active with the hands, especially on the passes to the wings. Tincher, front court left side to trigger it in, gets it to Gillespie. Mathis riding him, no call, and finally, boy, I'll tell you what, they waited a long time as Gillespie got that ball and then started pushing it towards the left elbow, and Mathis was leaning in on him the whole way, and Mathis third, team first, so Mathis with 3, Red and Cutlip with 2 each, and that's going to bring Rowe back into the game for the Hilltoppers. Baseline left side, Browder gets it out to Tincher on the left wing. To Gillespie, right wing, launches a 3. Good! Gillespie's first 3 of the game, 38-35. Hilltoppers push it into the front court. Cutlip with the ball, backing it out right side, guarded by Hale. Crosses over, kicks it back to McBride. Rowe. Shingledecker in the left corner. He'll bring it out to Cutlip high on the right side. Hilltoppers very active moving the basketball. Shingledecker holding it now to Cutlip, setting up the play. He's going to try to drive. Got Hale in the air. Ducks underneath, shot up, tapped up, no good. Browder now with the rebound. Browder will get it to Gillespie. 5:14 left, third quarter. Indians up 38-35. Gillespie between the rings. Hale, right elbow. And that's tapped away from Rowe from behind, and he's going to get a wide open lay-in. He just snuck in behind Hale and tapped it away and took off down the other end. Browder to Gillespie. Indians with the ball up a point after the turnover in the basket by the Hilltoppers. Hale, head of the key. Tincher on the right side. Dennis to Gillespie, left wing. Gonna drive past McBride, lays it up, too strong. Rebound tapped around, Hilltoppers have got it. McBride, boy, I'll tell you what, he had the wide open lane and it just didn't get the right angle. Cutlip down on the baseline to Rowe, out to McBride for three. In and out, no good. Browder with the rebound. Browder ahead to Hale, lays it up, good. Indians score in transition. They haven't been able to do that a whole lot tonight. 40-37 Indians. Rowe, Cutlip. Cutlip, long three from the left side, no good. Rebound, Gillespie's got it. 3:55 remaining third quarter. Gillespie driving in, lost his balance, he got tripped and they're gonna call a foul. I thought they might call a travel, but he did get tripped and they saw it in the foul, the second of this half against the Toppers. Shingledecker, that's his first. Ben Phillips will check in for the Indians and Ben Edwards for the Hilltoppers. Shingledecker out, Dennis out. Browder, baseline right side to trigger it in. Looking, gets it to Tincher in the corner. Tincher dribbles out. Rowe took a swat at it, tried to knock it away. Tincher, he's going to penetrate. Driving in. Ball was knocked out of bounds and it goes off Red. And off Phillips. Red might have made Tincher alter the shot. And again, nobody getting back in time. And Chris Porge is shaking his head. As Rowe took off, the Indians kind of lackadaisical going down the floor. And a long pass, and Rowe with the easy two. 40-39. At least at this point of the basketball game, if the Indians lose, it's going to be their Gillespie for three, off no good. It will be their, and Hale cannot hold on to the rebound. It will be their lack of effort getting back defensively. Cutlip brings it front court to Edwards at the elbow, skips it left side. Cutlip for three from the wing, buried it. 42-40. Hilltoppers on top by 2. 5-0 spurt by the Toppers. Gillespie driving past McBride, and a foul called against McBride, team third. Shingledecker will check back in.
21, Caleb McBride, his second.
That's the second against McBride.
Shooting 2.
And Gillespie will shoot 2 for the Indians. They were 4 of 8 in the first half from the line. Hilltoppers 6 of 9. Free throw up and good. 42-41 Hilltoppers. Dennis checks back in. Browder gets a rest for the Indians. Gillespie's second. No good. Toppers with the rebound. Cutlip with the ball. And a 1-point lead. Cutlip off a pick. Kicks it. Edwards, ball fake, drives. Boy, put his shoulder down into Dennis, no call, but shot was blocked, and Hale with the rebound. He's double team, needs help. Gets it to Tincher. Red was all over Hale. Cutlip on Tincher. Right side, Gillespie. Rowe on him. Gillespie at 5'8", Rowe at 6'2". Boy, talk about a mismatch. Tincher, left wing. Wanted the three, but Cutlip recovered off the pick. Gillespie, right side, dribbles right. Backs it out right corner. Out to Tincher. Hilltoppers playing tough man-to-man half-court defense. Hale, head of the key. Right side to Tincher. And a whistle and a hold against Science Hill. Going to go against Edwards, his fourth.
Foul the Hilltoppers, 32. Ben Edwards, his first.
That'll be his first.
Fourth team foul, Jack Browder.
Minute 33 left in the third quarter, 42-41 Hilltoppers. Browder back in, Hale out. Tincher will trigger it in, baseline right side. It's been a low-scoring third quarter. Browder between the rings to Tincher. Working inside, Cutlip scoops it up, no good. There was, boy, a hip check by Cutlip. Long pass ahead to Rowe. Rowe shot up over Gillespie and in. I'll tell you what, Cutlip got away with a strong hip check back at this end on that missed shot. Gillespie driving. And this time Gillespie trying to drive past, Cutlip travels. So the Hilltoppers get it back, leading 44-41 with 1:08 left. Dobyns-Bennett can ill afford to let the Hilltoppers finish this quarter strong and take control of this thing going to the fourth. Edwards at the elbow, kicks it left wing. Cutlip wide open off a pick for three. Tried to get the foul, didn't get it, didn't get the shot to go. Gillespie ahead to Tincher. Driving, stops, pops off the back bracket, no good. Jump ball called, and it'll be Science Hill basketball on the possession arrow. 43.2 seconds remaining, 44-41. And there's three officials, three Hilltoppers around the official complaining that they didn't get a foul called instead of a jump ball there. Hale in, Phillips out for the Indians. Cutlip with the basketball. Possession arrow, Indians right now after that jump ball. Cutlip off a pick. He'll penetrate, leans in, shot up, no good. Hale had the rebound, lost it, but Dennis gets it to Gillespie with 18 seconds left. 44-41. Hilltoppers, Indians with the ball with a shot to finish the quarter. Tincher, 7 seconds. Browder driving past Cutlip, lays it up, missed it. And that's the end of the third quarter. After three, Science Hill 44, Dobyns-Bennett 41. Indian basketball continues right after this break. Well, you're not going to win big games missing layups, and the Indians missed one right at the end of the the quarter. Trail it by 3 going into the final 8 minutes. Science Hill 44, Dobyns-Bennett 41. And the Indians will have the basketball midcourt right side to start the final frame. The winner of this has undisputed first place in the Big 7 Conference through 7 games. Both teams 6-0 coming into this one. Hale to Tincher. Right wing with it. Out to Hale. Hale tries to dump it off to Dennis, and it was tapped and goes back to Hale. Tincher high on the right side. Red has been taking Jason Dennis pretty much out of this game. And in fact, leaning on him, and there's a foul against McBride as Gillespie drives in. He will shoot 2 with 7:26 to play.
21, Caleb McBride, his third.
That's the third against McBride.
Jonathan Gillespie shooting 2.
Gillespie's free throw is up, and it's good. Well, you make that layup at the end of the third quarter, you got a tie score right now. Instead, you're down 2, 44-42. Gillespie will try to close it to within 1. And he does. 44-43, Toppers. McBride to Red. Left side, Mathis. They're going to try to pull the Indians out. Make it easier for them to get inside. They like to penetrate off the dribble anyway. Mathis dribbling back and forth off picks by Red. That should have been a moving pick right there. Shingledecker driving, and a block call. Are you kidding me? Jack Browder picks up his third, called for a block, and Mathis will go to the free throw line to try to make it a 3-point play. First field goal of the game for Mathis, and a chance at a 4-point lead for the Toppers. If anything, that's a no call. I'm not advocating for a charge here, but a no call, that's a no call right there. Shingledecker, oh, it was Shingledecker, it was not Mathis. And he completes the 3-point play, and it's 47-43 Toppers. 7 minutes remaining. Indians gonna have to dig out of a hole if they're gonna win this one. Tincher to Gillespie. Gillespie, pull up from 17, straight on, good. 47-45, Hilltoppers quickly at the other end. Cutlip drives baseline, lays it up and in. Again, Hilltoppers push the ball up the floor before the Indians get set well defensively. Tincher loses the ball trying to penetrate. Hale, 3 from the right wing, that's well off the mark. Browder, offensive rebound, puts it back up and in. 49-47. Indians aren't going away. 6:8:17 to play. You stay close, you might have a chance at the end. In the corner, McBride. Down in the block, Red leaning in against Dennis. Dennis called for the foul, his third, and Red will shoot 2. Red is one of those types of players, if he's on your team, you like him. If you're playing against him, you don't like him because he's a little bit on the cocky side. And quite honestly, very much like Zane Whitson is when he's playing for the Indians, but he's been out. And Red misses the free throw. Chris Poore still arguing that. I don't know if he's arguing this foul or the last one against Browder. Red second, missed them both. Indians with the rebound. Hale to Gillespie with the ball, down 2, 49-47. 6 minutes left in the basketball game. Gillespie to Browder, left elbow, out to Gillespie. Long 3 from on top. 50-49. Cutlip tries to answer, no good. Dennis with the rebound to Gillespie. Front court with 5:38 to play. Browder, he'll take a 3. That one off the bracket, no good. Tapped up, ball still tapped around, Red's got it. 50-49, Dobyns-Bennett. Mathis driving, runner off the glass, no good. Shingledecker over the back. You bet. His 6th, or team 6th, I should say. Second against Shingledecker. Gives the Indians the ball back with 5:22 to play. Leading 50-49. Gillespie with the basketball, bringing it up against Mathis. He'll come front court. Tincher, right of the circle, out high on the right side. Browder, left wing. Driving against Cutlip, spins baseline, tries to go in. Cutlip with the foul. His 3rd, team 7th. Browder to shoot 2.
Foul on the Hilltoppers, 14, King Cutlip. His 3rd, team 7.
A nice spin move by Browder to the baseline. Set him up nicely. Browder's first, up and good. Browder's got 9, and it's 51-49 Tribe. $52-49 Tribe. Dobyns-Bennett with a timeout with 5:04 remaining in the basketball game. It is a 60-second break, and we'll take it with him. We'll be back in 60 seconds.
David Crockett, Varsity Boys, Varsity Girls, Saturday. It's Douglas Day here in Dobyns-Bennett as we recognize Douglas High School.
.504 remaining. Dobyns-Bennett 52, Science Hill 49. Indians on a 7-0 run after trailing 49-45. Mathis brings it up the floor for the Hilltoppers and into the front court. Dribbles to the head of the key, across the head of the key, goes right side to Red. Ball fake, drives against Dennis, leans in, shot up good. He is almost unstoppable. 52-51 Indians. Gillespie front court against Mathis. Hill drive, throws up a runner that is off the bracket, spins out. Dennis, offensive rebound. Too strong, tapped up again, no good. Mathis with the rebound. Here come the Hilltoppers, chance to retake the lead. Left wing, skips it right side, Cutlip. Long three, off, no good. Browder with the rebound for the Indians. They'll slow it down, Tincher will bring it up. I don't think Coach Cutlip liked his son's shot selection that time by his reaction. Tincher. Driving, dishes off to Dennis, lays it up good. Great dish by Tincher. 54-51. Cutlip to Mathis. Mathis looked like he was going to take a three, but instead backs it out. Driving, kicks it inside. McBride over Dennis, good. 54-53. Tincher backcourt, 3:45 to play. Indians with the ball up 1. This one looking like it's going to go right down to the wire. Tincher, left elbow, pull up, rattles good. McKinley Tincher, his first points in the second half. 56-53. Quickly at the other end. Ball tapped by Hale. Cutlip tries to save it. That's going to go back court. Gillespie's got it. Spinning at the free throw line. That was partially blocked, and Cutlip's got the rebound. Outlet to Red. Driving against Browder. Got inside of Browder, laid it up and in. Boy, not a good exchange for the Indians. If that jumper by Gillespie drops from the free throw, and that's a good shot for Donovan. If that drops, it's a whole different story, but instead the Indians, the Toppers with the rebound and the breakout by Red, and it's a 1-point game again. Hale gives it to Browder. Browder gonna drive, tried to dump it off, but throws it to Red. Ahead to Cutlip, driving against Tincher. Lays it up good, and the Hilltoppers are back on top, 57-56. 2:39 to play. It's been that kind of game. Everything you would expect from two 6-0 basketball teams. Indians trying to knock off the 8th-ranked team in the state. Browder tries to go inside, and Shingle-Dapper steps in front of Hale. You got to come after that ball. You got to come out to it. Hilltoppers with a 1-point lead in the ball, and a timeout called by Cutlip with 2:16 left. We'll keep it here. And you know for sure Science Hill's going to pull it out with a 1-point lead and just 2:16 remaining. And the Indians missing a 15-footer from straight away. Hilltoppers breaking away, Red driving around in transition, getting the basket. And then the Indians, well, check that. The second time was the missed, or then just now, the steal by Shingledecker as Browder was trying to go into Hale, who was basically flat-footed, and Shingledecker just came around him and took it away. And now the Hilltoppers with the timeout leading by 1. 57-56, 2:16 to play. And they are really, with their athleticism and the guys that they have that can drive off the dribble, take you off the dribble to the basket, the Hilltoppers right now really in the driver's seat. Even with 2:16 remaining, they're in the driver's seat because they can pull this thing out. Indians have to come out and play defense on them because they're down a point. But the Indians in a position, and I always say this and you never see it, in a position to be able to play overly aggressive defense because they got plenty of fouls to give. Red out high. Cutlip guarded by Hale. To McBride, to Mathis. They're going to work it outside, pop people out. That's what they do, pop them out from left to right. Try to back cut. And when you got Red out there, Dennis can't come out on him because Red's got the ability to put it on the floor and drive it right by Dennis. Mathis out high on the right side. Hands it off, McBride. Coach Cutlip, or excuse me, Coach Poor wanted, I think, a 5-second count. Shingledecker, guarded by Browder, to Red, to McBride. They're in their delay offense, and they look for back cuts and layups. Cutlip, we're down to a minute 26. They ran off a minute. And there's a 5-second violation. The Indians will get it back. Almost a minute. The Hilltoppers ran off almost a minute. Indians need to score on this possession. A minute 24 remaining. Gillespie backcourt. Comes front court against Mathis. A minute 19 to play. Indians trail by a point. Browder. Left side, Tincher. Gets a pick from Dennis. Inside Dennis. Lays it up. Lost the handle. Gets it back. Leans in. Shot up. And a foul. 58-57. Dennis will have a chance at a three-point play. Shingledecker just picked up his third, team 8th. And a timeout, Chris Poor. 1:05 remaining. We'll keep it here again. It has been a back and forth basketball game all night. Indians led it early 4-0. Hilltoppers, while the Indians got it out to as much as a 5-point lead at 12-7. And actually a 6-point lead at 15-9. And then a 6-0 run by the Hilltoppers tied it at 15. For a basket by the Indians gave them a 17-15 lead at the end of the first quarter. Indians led it by 5, 29-24. 2/3 of the way through the second quarter, but the Hilltoppers came back, battled back, and tied it at 33. Actually took a 33-31 lead, and then the basket by the Indians tied it at 33 at halftime. Indians trailed by 3 at the end of 3 quarters after being outscored 11-8 in the third quarter. And trailed by 4, 49-45 before a 7-0 run put the Indians up 52-49. Hilltoppers battled back from a 56-53 deficit to retake the lead 57-56. But good defense by the Indians, forcing a 5-second violation. And then the basket by Dennis, and now a chance at a 3-point play at the free throw line. 1:05 remaining. Dennis will try to give the Indians a 2-point lead. And nobody but gold jerseys on either side of the free throw line. Free throw by Dennis, line drive, rattles it home. He's got 11. 59-57, 2-point lead for the Indians. Mathis to Cutlip, down in the corner, McBride. To Red, driving, kicks it out, McBride. 50 seconds remaining. Cutlip with the basketball. Head of the key to McBride, dribbles left. Down in the corner, Mathis drives, kicks it in, stolen by Browder. They were trying to go to Red, and Jack Browder read it and stepped in front. Gillespie, front court, guarded by Mathis. Hilltoppers will come strong. Oh, and there's a back tap. Red's got it. 2-on-1, driving against Browder. Missed the layup! Red missed the layup. Dennis with the rebound. Gillespie with the basketball. Gets it to Browder. 16 seconds left. You got to get in the front court. There's a foul against Red. Foul against Red. Will the foul count? No, I think the timeout came first. And that's a good call. The official's going to come in. I don't think the foul is going to count. I heard a whistle. They're going to call the timeout first. Chris Poore calling timeout with 13.4 seconds remaining. And his team up 50 to 59-47. And what a great defensive play by Jack Browder, as I believe it was Mathis who penetrated, wanted to go to Red down low for a shot against Dennis, and Jack Browder stepped in front and stole it. And so with 13.4 seconds remaining, the Indians will have the ball end court with 13.4 seconds remaining and up 2. 18 fouls against the Hilltoppers. So the Indians still in the regular 1-on-1. Hilltoppers will pressure, try for the steal. If they can't get that, then they will foul and force the Indians to go to the free throw line. And if the Indians could hit 2 there, that would give them a 4-point lead, a 2-possession game. Unless you hit a 3 and get fouled, which we've already seen tonight. Indians trying to hold on here at home and upset the 8th-ranked team in the state of Tennessee. Dennis, Hale, Browder, Gillespie, and Tincher. They've played yeoman minutes tonight. McBride, Mathis, Red, Cutlip, and Shingledecker. Browder will trigger it in. He cannot run the baseline. Gets it to Gillespie. Gillespie to Browder. Got to get it front court. Browder, and a timeout and a foul called against Shingledecker in the back court. The Indians still have 2 timeouts left.
Foul the Hilltoppers, 22.
Toppers have got 4, team 9th. The foul against Shingledecker with 5.8 seconds remaining. Browder at the line to shoot 1-and-1. Needs the first to make it a 3-point game. 5.8 seconds remaining. Free throw is up. Off the back bracket, no good. Cutlip with the rebound. Mathis, front court to and the Hilltoppers get it front court. 1.1 second remaining. They're going to try to get time put on the clock.
Full timeout, Science Hill.
We'll see how much time is left. Browder missed the free throw. Off the back bracket, and of course the Indians had nobody up there. And I don't know how much time they're putting on. We won't see because they count down to something. The foul was against
2.0 on the clock.
2 seconds will be left. And the Hilltoppers, I don't know if they'll try to get a 2 and draw a foul, or if they'll take a 3 for the win. Front court left side is where the Hilltoppers will have the basketball, with 2 seconds remaining, and the Indians up 2. Indians 10 of 16 from the free throw line, but the biggest miss, that last trip to the line, that would have given them at least a full 1-possession lead and possibly a 2-possession lead. But instead, the Hilltoppers with a last chance here. And they've got some athletic guys, been saying it all night. And let's see. Indians with 2 timeouts left, Hilltoppers with 3. And a little bit of confusion as Travis Chandler is talking to head coach Cutlip. And I'm not sure what the discussion is. Coach Cutlip does not look happy. I'm not sure what this discussion is about. Amari Red will trigger it in, front court left side, across from the head of the Hilltopper bench. I think Coach Cutlip wanted it on the baseline. I think he thought it was going to be on the baseline. Now Chris Poore, after seeing what the Hilltoppers are going to do, is going to take a timeout. I had a sneaky suspicion he might do that. See what the Hill, but the thing is, if Cutlip was drawing up a play for on the baseline, and now he sees that it's out high, he may design something completely different. So whatever Coach Cutlip talks about may be a moot point. 59-57 Dobyns-Bennett, 2 seconds remaining in the basketball game, or should I say in regulation. The winner of this is in sole possession of first place in the Big 7 Conference, with another meeting between these two teams in Johnson City a week from Friday, February 5th. That'll be the second to last game of the season, of the regular season for the Indians. They'll play Cherokee to finish up the season after that. Now Science Hill wants a timeout. Science Hill takes a timeout. So these last 2 seconds are taking about 5 minutes to play. I'm going to be really interested to read Jeff Birchfield's story on this tomorrow. The way this one has been back and forth. I'll tell you what, when you got two 6-0 teams, this is what you want to see. And this is 2 tough games in a row for the Hilltoppers because, again, Union, Virginia, I was talking to their radio broadcaster, Kyle Cooper, before the game. He said Union was the best team he's seen all season. So, we may or may not, yep, we're going to get an inbounds this time. Front court left side, Red triggered in. Indians man-to-man. They will not guard Red. Dennis will be in the paint. Gets it to Cutlip for 3. Good, and the Hilltoppers win it at the buzzer. Unbelievable. Hilltoppers win it at the buzzer on a 3-pointer by Cutlip. We'll take a 2-minute timeout and begin our post-game show right after this. Back at the Buck Van Huss Dome, and the news is not good if you're an Indian fan, as Keenan Cutlip takes an inbounds pass with 2 seconds left, tosses up a long 3 from the left side. and drains it at the buzzer, and the Hilltoppers win it by a score of 60-59. Indians led it 17-15 at the end of one. And they were tied at 33 all at the half. Hilltoppers led it 44-41 at the end of three. Indians battled back, took a lead 59-57, and had a chance at the free throw line with 5.8 seconds remaining. Missed the front end of the 1-and-1. The Hilltoppers got it in the front court, got a timeout with 2 seconds left, and after 2 Science Hill timeouts and 1 Dobyns-Bennett timeout, Cutlip came off a pick all the way around. He started out underneath the basket on the left side, swung out around, and I didn't follow him all the way through, but saw him come across the top and get the ball off a pick at the left wing back from the arc and drained it. And it looked good the whole way because it was right on line from me, between me and the basket. And it was good. You could tell from the time it left his hand. The only question was, is it going to be too long or too short? But it was right on. And the Hilltoppers take over sole possession of first place at 7-0. Indians fall to 6-1. And again, they will be facing off in Johnson City again on February 5th. We'll take a timeout, and, well, before we do, let's tell you about Mama's House on the John B. Dennis bypass in Kingsport. We'll be back over there Thursday night with the Dobyns-Bennett Coaches Show as Chris Poore is making his way here. We'll be talking with Chris Poore about his basketball team, this game, the one on this past Saturday, the win at Cherokee, and what else is in store for his team the rest of this season. And, of course, don't forget they've got plenty of room for social distancing. They've got everybody goes through the line wearing gloves and masks. They provide the gloves for you. And, of course, if you'd like to take the food with you instead of eating there, it's $5.99 a pound. You can go through and take it with you. We're joined now by Chris Poore, head coach of the Indians. And, Coach, when you get 2 6-0 basketball teams, this is the type of game the fans want to see. It was a good one. It went down to the wire. But what a tough loss for your team that battled against the 8th-ranked team in the state.
Well, it was tough. I was proud of our guys and their effort. Just thinking, you got games like that, you got to close them.
Yeah. One of the things that I noticed that you had difficulty with all night long is it seemed like after made baskets, after missed baskets, the Hilltoppers time and time again throughout the different portions of the game were able to beat you down the floor before you got your defense set. And I saw you trying to prod your team to get back quicker, but it just, for some reason, it just didn't seem to sink in.
Well, that's mental toughness, and we weren't tough enough to do that. And there were times, they got us. We knew they were going to do it. That's what they do. They push it. And, you just got to get back. I mean, It's nothing difficult. We've got guys jogging back, looking back at their guy, and just poor execution. I've done a poor job in that area, but that's the last time that'll happen.
Looked like you had a chance to maybe seal this thing away. Jack Browder made a great defensive play when they got penetration off the dribble, tried to go to red. Jack stepped in front, ends up getting, you run some time, Jack gets fouled, you get a chance to go to the free throw line, but front end of the 1-and-1, normally a good free throw shooters. They don't all go down, unfortunately doesn't go down, and of course that set up the last shot for Science Hill.
Well, we played well enough to win. We did a lot of good stuff, but unfortunately, it don't matter if you play good.
Yeah.
If you come out short, it doesn't matter if you won or if you lost by 1 or if you lost by 100. It's just the fact that you got to get the job done. And the bottom line is we had a defensive stop to win the game.
Yeah.
We had a defensive stop to win the basketball game, and then we didn't get it done.
All right, Coach, appreciate it. We'll see you Thursday night at Mama's House. All right, Chris Poore, head coach, obviously very dejected Chris Poore, as he felt like this was a game that his team could have and should have won, and they let it slip away at the end. Since we've got the coach in, we'll go ahead and we will close things out here. Take a look at individual scoring. Keenan Cutlip with 15 for the Hilltoppers. Caleb McBride with 14. Amari Red, 13. Rowe with 10. And it was Lathan Shingledecker with 3 and Ben Edwards with 2. Dobyns-Bennett led by Jonathan Gillespie with 13. Jason Dennis with 11. Jack Browder with 10. McKinley Tincher and Malachi Hale with 8 each. Ben Phillips with 4. Ishawn Graves and Dakari Dixon with 2 apiece for the Hilltoppers. For the Indians. Boy, I don't know. I'll tell you what. It is going to. This is tough. I'm just gonna. I guess this is the easy way out, but I'm gonna call our varsity trophy player of the game the team. It was a great team effort. I know that there were mistakes made. There were things that they could have done better that perhaps would have pulled out a win. But I don't know that there was any one individual who really stood head and shoulders without defensive statistics, without assists, without the benefit of rebounds, things like that. It's just hard to really give it to one person over another. So I'm going to call it the team being the varsity trophy player of the game. Varsity trophy for all your trophy needs. That's going to do it for me. Once again, the Hilltoppers defeat the Indians on a last-second three-pointer by Keenan Cutlip, 60-59. Until I join you from Mama's house on the John B. Dennis Bypass Thursday night with the Coaches Show, I'm Don Hellman. So long, everyone.